Most people think swollen legs are caused by salt, but for me, it was something much deeper and dangerous. When I was 63, I started noticing something strange. By the end of each day, my socks would leave deep marks on my ankles. My legs felt heavy, almost like I was dragging bags of sand with every step. At first, I thought it was just age, or maybe I stood too long. But it kept happening, even on days when I barely left the house. I went online, searched swollen ankles and legs. The answers were scary: heart problems, kidney issues, too much salt. But deep down, I felt like there was something else. Something no one was talking about. And then I found it. There's a hidden reason why so many of us over 60 struggle with swelling in our legs. It's not just about water or salt. It's about broken pumps inside our cells. It's about too much sugar and too little of the right fuel. And tonight, I want to tell you exactly what I wish someone told me back then. In the next 30 minutes, you'll discover why your legs swell, what sugar really does to your circulation, the 3 nutrients that quietly control your body's ability to move fluid. We'll talk about the most overlooked vitamin for swollen legs and ankles, how it helps you pull water back into the right places, and the best supplements for poor circulation that actually work for people our age. You'll also learn a simple 5-minute habit that can help you start draining fluid naturally, starting tonight. Not next month, not after your next doctor visit, tonight, before bed. So grab a chair, kick your feet up. This isn't just another health video. This is a guide to get your legs back, and maybe even a little hope too. Ready? Let's begin. Number 1. The hidden pump failure. Why your legs fill with fluid. It started so quietly I almost didn't notice it. At first, it was just a slight puffiness around my ankles at night. Then came the sock marks. And by the end of the week, I couldn't slip into my favorite pair of walking shoes without a little squeeze. Now, most people would blame salt, or say it's just getting older. I thought the same, until I learned what was really happening inside my body. There's a little engine running in every single cell of your body. It's called the sodium-potassium pump. It's not something your doctor usually mentions in passing, but it's doing hard work every second, balancing fluids, moving nutrients, and keeping your legs from turning into water balloons. This pump moves sodium out and potassium in. That movement, it keeps your cells firm, not soggy. When the pump slows down because of age, diet, or lack of key nutrients, fluid starts slipping into the wrong places. Not into your bloodstream, but into the soft tissue around your ankles, calves, even your feet. It's like a basement flood with no working sump pump. The water has nowhere to go, so it collects, quietly, day after day. Now here's the real kicker. This tiny pump uses up to 40% of the energy of each cell just to work. That's how important it is. If your body is tired, inflamed, or nutrient deficient, that pump gets sluggish. And when the pump slows, the swelling begins. Let me give you a real-world example. My neighbor, Ruth, 68, told me her legs felt like wet towels by evening. She cut back on salt, tried compression socks, even elevated her legs. Nothing worked. But once she started supporting her sodium-potassium pump with food and supplements, the swelling faded in a matter of weeks. The key was understanding it wasn't just water weight. It was a breakdown in the body's own internal drainage system. The lesson: swelling isn't just a surface issue. It's a signal. It's your body whispering that the hidden engine inside your cells needs help. And now here's the twist you might not see coming. That little pump we just talked about, it can be destroyed not by age, but by sugar. Let's talk about that next. Coming up in number 2, sugar and swelling, how sweet foods wreck your circulation, where I'll explain why your evening dessert could be the reason your ankles are ballooning and what to do about it tonight. Let me tell you something that really surprised me. I always thought my little sweet tooth was harmless. A cookie after dinner, a spoonful of honey and tea, even some fruit before bed. But I had no idea that those innocent little bites were quietly sabotaging my legs. See, sugar doesn't just mess with your weight or your blood sugar levels. It messes with your circulation, the very thing that keeps your legs from swelling up like balloons. Here, that's how it works in plain language. When you eat too much sugar, especially over time, it starts sticking to the proteins in your blood, like syrup on a sponge. This sticky mess is called glycation. It makes your blood thicker, sludgier. And when your blood gets thick, it moves slower. That means oxygen and nutrients can't reach your legs like they used to, and waste, like excess fluid, can't be carried away efficiently. Your ankles swell. Your calves feel tight. And it's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. And it gets worse. This sugary stickiness doesn't just clog up your flow, it also damages the lining of your blood vessels. Like a garden hose with tiny holes, the water starts leaking out. Except in your body, that water is fluid leaking into your soft tissues. That's what we call edema. I remember one night I had a slice of cake at a birthday party. Just one. The next morning, my ankles were so puffy I had to wear slippers instead of sneakers. That was the wake-up call. And here's something even more eye-opening. Sugar also makes your body hold onto sodium, and when sodium builds up, it drags water with it. Double trouble. You get swelling from poor blood flow and from water retention. No wonder my legs felt like sandbags. So what's the takeaway here? Cutting back on refined sugars, even for just 1 week, can make a dramatic difference. Less puffiness, less pressure in your legs, and honestly more energy. Try it for yourself. Replace dessert with a piece of dark chocolate or a handful of berries. Drink a glass of water instead of soda. Small changes add up. Now you might be wondering, if sugar is hurting the system, what can help fix it? Well, it turns out there's a special vitamin your body desperately needs when sugar has been part of the picture for too long. It helps clean up the damage, support your nerves, and power that fluid balancing pump we talked about. But hardly anyone talks about it. Coming up in number 3, B1 breakdown, the vitamin deficiency no one warned you about, where I'll show you why this one forgotten vitamin could be the missing key to lighter legs, calmer nerves, and better circulation, starting tonight. Now this part, this one hit close to home. For months I had swelling in my ankles and feet that just wouldn't go away. My doctor ran the usual labs. Heart, fine. Kidneys, fine. But I still looked like I had marshmallows stuffed into my socks. Then I read something that stopped me cold. Vitamin B1 deficiency can cause fluid retention, nerve damage, and poor energy use. Vitamin B1, also called thiamine, is one of those quiet nutrients you don't hear much about. But it's absolutely critical, especially as we get older. Let me explain what it does real simple. When you eat food, especially carbs like bread, pasta, rice, your body needs B1 to turn that into fuel. No B1. That fuel just sits there. Sugar builds up. And remember what we talked about in the last part, sugar that's not burned becomes sticky. It clogs the blood, slows the flow, wrecks circulation. But B1 doesn't just help with sugar. It's also needed to power the sodium-potassium pump inside your cells, the exact pump that controls fluid movement. If the pump's broken, fluid leaks out. Your legs swell. Your nerves tingle. That's why many older adults with B1 deficiency feel numbness or burning in their feet, what doctors call peripheral neuropathy. Crazy thing is, you don't need to be diabetic for this to happen. All it takes is years of a carb-heavy diet low in B1. White bread, sugary drinks, cereal. These foods don't just raise blood sugar, they drain your body's B1 reserves. I didn't know any of this until my friend Carol, she's 73, told me her holistic doctor had her try a B1 supplement. Just a simple benfotiamine capsule with dinner. Within 2 weeks, her foot cramps were gone. She even joked she could finally wear sandals again. So here's what I started doing, and what I suggest for you if this sounds familiar. Try 100 mg of benfotiamine or thiamine mononitrate daily, preferably with food. If you're not sure, ask your doctor for a simple blood test. And most importantly, take a look at your diet. The less sugar and white flour, the more your B1 can actually do its job. Here's the small but powerful truth. You're not just fighting swelling. You're helping your body recover its ability to use energy, circulate blood, and calm those nerves. And that can change everything. But B1 isn't the only nutrient involved. There are two essential minerals that your body needs every single day to move fluid properly, relax your blood vessels, and prevent cramps. Yet most of us are walking around deficient. So in the next part, we'll talk about the dynamic duo you may be missing. Coming up in number 4, potassium and magnesium, the forgotten swelling blockers. How to get enough without eating 15 bananas, and why just 1 tablespoon a day could make your legs feel lighter by the weekend. You know what's funny? For the longest time I thought leg swelling was just a salt problem. Too much sodium, right? That's what everyone says, but no one ever mentioned the minerals that keep sodium in check: potassium and magnesium. These two little guys are like the peacekeepers in your body. When they're in balance, your blood vessels stay relaxed, your fluid moves freely, and your legs feel light. But here's the truth no one told me until I was 66 and hobbling around the grocery store. Most Americans over 60 are not getting nearly enough potassium or magnesium. Let's start with potassium. Potassium helps pull sodium out of your body. It tells your kidneys, hey, we don't need this much salt hanging around. It also relaxes your blood vessels, which helps reduce pressure and swelling. But we need a lot of it, around 4,700 milligrams a day. That's the equivalent of 15 bananas. And trust me, I like bananas, but not that much. Instead, I started adding more spinach, sweet potatoes, avocados, and white beans to my meals. Even better, I found a low-sugar electrolyte powder with potassium and magnesium I could sip during the day. 1 scoop, no sugar, easy. Now about magnesium, this one really surprised me. Magnesium helps your muscles relax and supports the sodium-potassium pump we talked about earlier. Without magnesium, your legs cramp up, your heart races, and that swelling hangs around. Here's what my doctor told me. Most folks over 60 are walking around with a hidden magnesium deficiency, and they don't even know it. Think about it. Do you get leg cramps at night? Feel your legs twitch or tighten when you lie down? That could be your body quietly asking for more magnesium. I started sprinkling pumpkin seeds on my oatmeal, eating more leafy greens, and sometimes just taking a magnesium glycinate supplement before bed. After a few weeks, I noticed I didn't get up with heavy, stiff legs anymore. I could walk longer, stand longer. My shoes even felt looser. Here's the small but mighty lesson I learned. It's not just what you're eating, it's what you're missing. And sometimes, the fix isn't a prescription. It's a mineral your body has been quietly begging for. Now, before you run out and stock up on supplements, we need to talk about what's sabotaging your minerals in the first place. Because even with all the right vitamins, if you're eating the wrong things, you're filling the tub while the drain is open. Coming up next in number 5, the carb trap, why your favorite foods are fueling your swelling. We'll uncover how everyday comfort foods are secretly making your ankles puff up, and what you can swap in tonight to start turning it all around. Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. Have you ever finished dinner, maybe some mashed potatoes, a slice of bread, maybe even a cookie, and then a few hours later your feet feel tight in your slippers? Your ankles look puffy. You tell yourself it's just age or maybe I sat too long. Well, I used to think the same thing, until I found out that my comfort foods, the ones I thought were harmless, were actually feeding the swelling in my legs. It's what I now call the carb trap. Here's how it works. When you eat a lot of refined carbs like white bread, pasta, pastries, crackers, or sweetened drinks, your blood sugar spikes. Your body scrambles to bring it down by releasing insulin, and that insulin tells your kidneys to hold on to sodium and water. So instead of your body flushing out the excess, it holds onto it, right in your legs. That's why your ankles swell up after pizza night. But it goes deeper than that. Excess carbs, especially the kind with no fiber or nutrition, deplete your B1, potassium, and magnesium. You know, the same nutrients we just talked about that are supposed to help you reduce swelling in the first place. So it becomes a vicious loop. Eat carbs, right arrow, blood sugar rises, right arrow, swelling, nutrient loss, right arrow, more swelling. I'll tell you a quick story. My neighbor Carol, 72 years old, sweet lady, she used to bake muffins every Sunday. Blueberry, banana, nut, you name it. She'd always say, it's just one muffin. I don't eat junk. But every Monday she complained her ankles were sore and her shoes felt tight. She tried compression socks, elevating her feet, even sleeping with them propped on pillows. But guess what changed everything? She cut the muffins. Swapped them for a boiled egg and half an avocado. She didn't go low carb, she just dropped the refined stuff. And in 2 weeks, she told me I feel lighter. I don't hear my ankles creak when I walk. Here's what I learned from her and from myself. It's not about cutting everything. It's about choosing the carbs that work for your body, not against it. Sweet potatoes instead of white bread. Berries instead of cookies. Quinoa instead of pasta. When you treat food like fuel, not comfort, your body rewards you. And that's swelling. It starts to let go. Now I know some of this can feel overwhelming. Maybe you're wondering, is this really working for me? That's exactly what we'll look at in the next part. Number 6, test at home. How to know if it's really working, because it's not just about guessing. There are simple ways to track your progress right at home. And tonight, yes, tonight you'll know where you stand. Okay, I want to share something with you that changed how I look at progress. You see, I used to wait for big changes like swelling gone overnight or my shoes suddenly fitting perfectly again. But healing, it's quieter than that. It whispers before it shouts. That's why it helps to track the small wins. And the good news, you can do it right at home. No labs, no fancy machines, just you, a chair, and a little awareness. Here's your first home test, the sock line test. Every night before bed, take note of your ankles. Do your socks leave a deep indentation? Is the skin puffy, shiny, or warm? Now do the same check first thing in the morning, when swelling is typically lowest. If you see less puffiness over the next 3-5 days, it's working. Test number 2, the finger press test. Gently press your thumb on your shin bone, hold it for 5 seconds. If the dent stays behind, that's pitting edema. Track it daily. You'll start to notice it fades faster when your body starts rebalancing fluid. And one more, the energy test. How fast are you moving in the morning? Are you still pausing to catch your breath while putting on socks or standing up? Write it down in a little notebook or use a simple app like Apple Health or Google Keep. Give yourself a daily score, 1 for swollen and sluggish, 5 for light and mobile. Let me tell you about my friend Earl. He's 74, big guy, heart of gold. Started tracking his sock score every night. At first it was a deep groove every evening, but by week 2, lighter socks, less of a mark. He called me and said, "Jim, I put my feet up last night, but I didn't feel like they needed it." That's a first. You don't need a doctor to tell you when something's changing. Your body will tell you, you just have to look. And here's a little bonus. Tracking gives you hope. Because when you see even a little progress, you're more likely to stick with it. Now once you know it's working, you'll want to keep the momentum going. And that leads perfectly into what we're talking about next. Number 7, move the fluid, 5 gentle exercises to drain the swelling. And don't worry, I'm not asking you to join a gym. These are quiet, simple movements you can do right by your bed that get your blood flowing, your lymph moving, and help your legs feel a little more like your own again. Let's get into it. Now here's something no one told me until much later. You can take all the right vitamins. You can eat the perfect anti-swelling meals. But if you're not moving that fluid, it just sits there, like a pond with no outlet. And swollen legs, they love stillness. What your legs need is gentle motion. Not sweating at the gym, not running a mile. Just the kind of movement that reminds your body, hey, I'm still here. Keep the blood flowing. Let me show you 5 things that worked for me. They're simple. You can do them sitting or standing, and they'll take less than 5 minutes. 1. Ankle circles. Sit in a chair. Lift one foot slightly off the floor. Gently rotate your ankle 10 times clockwise, then 10 times the other way. It's like stirring the water in your legs so it doesn't settle. Repeat on the other side. 2. Heel raises. Stand near a wall or kitchen counter. Raise up on your tiptoes slowly, then lower down. Do this 10 times. This pumps the calf, your body's natural second heart that moves blood upward. 3. Toe taps while sitting. Sit in a chair, knees bent. Tap your toes up and down like you're playing piano with your feet. This gets your shins moving and encourages lymph drainage. 4. Marching in place, seated or standing. Lift one knee, then the other, in a slow rhythm. Even if your knees only come up a few inches, that's okay. Do 10 on each side. It tells your veins, let's move that fluid north. 5. Leg elevation with breathing. Lie down, prop your legs up on a few pillows. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Rest for 4. Do that 3 times. This box breathing helps your nervous system relax and your circulation improve. Let me tell you about Helen. She's 67, retired school teacher. Her ankles used to puff up like balloons by dinner. She started doing the ankle circles and heel raises every morning while brushing her teeth. And after meals, she'd do toe taps while sitting on the couch. Now, she says her shoes fit better and her legs feel lighter by bedtime. And you know what she told me last week? I didn't think something so small would work, but it does. The lesson is this: motion is medicine. And a few minutes done regularly can make your legs feel years younger. Now that we've got your blood and lymph flowing, let's talk about something most people forget. Number 8. Timing is everything. When you eat matters more than what you eat. And no, it's not just about eating early or skipping dessert. It's about how your meal timing affects the swelling in your legs overnight. I'll walk you through it and show you one habit that could change your evenings completely. See you in the next part. Here's something I wish someone had told me sooner. It's not just what you eat, it's when you eat it. I used to think a healthy dinner was just about choosing the right foods, a salad, some grilled chicken, maybe a little fruit after. But the real problem, I was eating dinner at 8 or even 9 o'clock, then going straight to the couch, and then off to bed. And that's when the swelling in my legs would show up the worst. By morning, my feet looked like they belonged to someone else. So what's going on here? When you eat late, especially heavy meals, your body stays busy digesting instead of draining fluid. That means blood flow stays in the gut, not in the legs where it needs to clean things up. Even more, lying down after a meal slows down your lymphatic system. That's the system that helps remove waste and excess fluid. So dinner plus couch plus bedtime equals swollen ankles by morning. And here's something you might not realize. Late-night carbs like bread, pasta, rice, or sweet fruit can spike insulin. And high insulin makes your kidneys hold onto sodium, which means your body holds onto water. Right where you don't want it, your legs. Let me share what worked for me. I started eating dinner by 6:30 p.m. Something light like steamed greens, half an avocado, and some grilled salmon. And after dinner, I take a slow walk around the house, just 10 minutes. Then I put my legs up on the couch arm while reading or watching TV. The difference? The next morning, my slippers slide on easily. No more pressure. No more puffiness. It's like giving my body a head start overnight. One woman I met, Clara, 73, told me she used to love her nighttime snack, crackers and cheese at 10 p.m. But after learning about fluid retention, she swapped that out for herbal tea. Within 5 days, her ankle swelling went down by half. The small takeaway here: the clock matters. If you want to reduce swelling in your legs, give your body time to digest before bedtime. And here's one last gentle tip. Try to stop eating at least 2 hours before sleep. Give your body space to rest, not just digest. Now that you know how food timing impacts your legs, let's take it one step deeper. Because sometimes swelling isn't just about what you eat or when you move. It's about what's going on inside, and that's where a simple blood test can shine a light. Let's walk into number 9. Talk to your doctor, what labs to request and why they matter. It could be the missing puzzle piece you've been waiting for. Let me tell you a little secret I wish I knew years ago. Sometimes the best place to start isn't the medicine cabinet. It's a simple blood test. See, for years I was chasing symptoms. Swollen ankles, tired legs, weird tingling in my feet. I tried cutting salt. I drank more water. Even bought expensive compression socks. But the swelling never really stopped until a doctor finally ordered the right labs. And that changed everything. So what should you ask your doctor for? Let's start with the basics. 1. A1C. This test checks your average blood sugar over 3 months. You don't need to be diabetic for sugar to be causing trouble. Even prediabetes levels can lead to swelling, poor circulation, and nerve issues. If your A1C is creeping above 5.7, it's time to take action. 2. Vitamin B1 thiamine. This one shocked me. No one ever mentioned B1 to me before. But when I tested low, it explained my fatigue, my nerve pain, and even my brain fog. Thiamine is essential for energy and for those little sodium-potassium pumps we talked about earlier. 3. Electrolytes panel, especially potassium and magnesium. If your potassium is too low, your body will hold on to sodium, which means more fluid, more swelling. Magnesium. It's needed for over 300 reactions in the body, including the ones that help your blood vessels relax and move fluid out of the legs. 4. Kidney function, BUN, creatinine, eGFR. You want to know how well your kidneys are filtering fluid. Because if they're sluggish, swelling will show up and fast. 5. Albumin and total protein. Here's one folks rarely talk about. If your blood protein is too low, fluid can leak from your blood vessels into your tissues. That means swollen ankles, puffy feet, and a feeling of heaviness all day long. I know that sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's just one lab draw, and you'll learn more about your body in that moment than you will in months of guessing. When I got my lab results back, I finally understood what my body had been trying to tell me all along. I wasn't just getting older. I was low on fuel and leaking it out where it didn't belong. A dear friend of mine, David, 67, shared with me how his doctor didn't want to order labs until he asked for them. He brought in a little list just like this, and his doctor said, "Well, why not? Let's check." Turns out David was low in both B1 and magnesium. 2 weeks after starting a supplement, he could fit back into his walking shoes without a struggle. So please, don't be shy. Print this list. Bring it to your next visit. Ask questions. You deserve answers, and you deserve legs that feel like yours again. Now that you've got the insight and the tools, let's bring everything together in a way that actually works. Up next, reclaim your legs, reclaim your life. And you'll see just how simple this journey can be. Let's take a deep breath together. You made it. And I hope by now your swollen ankles and tired legs don't feel like such a mystery anymore. Let's look back and then take a step forward. We uncovered 3 core causes behind the swelling. 1. Those tiny sodium-potassium pumps slowing down. 2. Sugar sneaking into your bloodstream and wrecking your circulation. 3. Hidden deficiencies like B1, potassium, and magnesium, making your body hold on to fluid. We exposed 3 common mistakes that keep people stuck, waiting until it gets worse. Cutting salt but not sugar. Treating swelling like it's just a part of aging. But it's not. Swollen legs are a message. And today, you've learned how to finally listen. And now you have 3 real tools you can try starting tonight. A few simple vitamins for swollen legs and ankles. Gentle supplements for poor circulation. A 5-minute movement to drain fluid naturally. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need 20 new habits. You just need to start with one. Tonight, pick one thing. Maybe it's B1 before bed. Maybe it's that gentle ankle roll exercise. Maybe it's just choosing berries over bread. Whatever it is, it's a step. And every step brings you closer to lighter legs, to energy that returns, to swelling that goes away and stays away. I believe in you, and I want to walk this journey with you. So if this video helped you, even a little, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Because we're building a library of simple tools for real people, especially those of us over 60. And if you want more videos like this, leave a comment below. Tell me, what did you try first? What changed for you? We're not just managing symptoms here. We're reclaiming our lives. One quiet, kind, powerful step at a time. Remember this, you're not broken. You're just missing what your body has been quietly asking for. Give it back. And your legs and your life will rise with you. I'll see you in the next video.